Welcome to the Graduate Seminar on Entrepreneurship. I'm very excited to get these things going. I really believe this course can make a powerful difference in your lives. Now, I understand many of you are taking this class simply because it's an elective and it fits into your schedule, but I'm going to contend that this can be a really important class for you. Some of you doubt that because you're sitting there thinking, I will never, ever, ever start a business in my entire life. I just don't want to do that. And you know what? Some of you are very wrong. What the research shows is if you ask people when they're enrolled in college classes about whether they want to start a business, it has a very poor correlation to whether they actually do. In fact, many of the people who swear they will never start a business end up starting a business. Why? Life happens. You lose your job. You're not happy with your career path. You see a great opportunity that you just have to take. So the fact that you might not be intrinsically motivated to take entrepreneurship because it's interesting to you right now doesn't faze me a bit, because frankly, some of you are going to need this course later on. You just don't know it yet. The second reason that I'm so excited about it is the things that we talk about in this class: creativity, how to do pivots, how to do financial analysis, how to match resources against tasks, how to negotiate, how to harvest. These are all things that companies are looking for in their superstar employees. We live in an era of entrepreneurship. Even old staid companies are having to be very entrepreneurial to survive, and they need entrepreneurial people within that company. So whether you see yourself starting a business or not, doesn't matter to me. I think what we're going to offer is going to be very valuable. As a personal aside, I put this class together a couple of years ago and taught it for the first time online 2 summers ago. I don't love the online format, but I understand, particularly in the summer, it's a scheduling convenience and a reality. This is what the market demands. So we're going to make the best with what we can. But I have to say, as I was going through and updating the course, I got excited all over again. I love this material, and I think it's important. Let's talk about how we're going to tackle the class. On the screen, you see an excerpt from the last page of the syllabus, so you can always go back to this and reference this. Basically, how we're going to do the course is there are 4 modules that are grouped, I think, logically for the topics that you're going to need to consider in entrepreneurship. The first is debunking some of the myths of who can be an entrepreneur, talking about creativity, talking about where ideas come from. The second module is then taking that idea and trying to turn it into an opportunity, building the plan around that with a nice little chapter on franchising. The next chapter is, the next module is all financial, debt, equity, doing your pro forma financial forecastings. Very important to me that you have an understanding of entrepreneurial finance and entrepreneurial business from a money standpoint. And then finally is wrapping it all up, negotiating the harvest of your company. How do you harvest companies and those sorts of things, and also some of the legal considerations that you're faced with. So now let me tell you about the course materials. The first is I have some great reading materials for you. The textbook we're going to use is the Professional MBA in Entrepreneurship. The thing you're going to love about this is that it is inexpensive, only about 20 bucks on Amazon, so you can thank me for that. I don't know why it's so much cheaper than a textbook, because frankly it has the same material that textbooks have, but it's a lot cheaper, so enjoy. It is written for an MBA level person, and if you find yourself struggling to understand it, then I'll tell you right now, the undergraduate entrepreneurship text I use is written by Barringer in Ireland, Barringer and Ireland, and I think it's called New Ventures. Just go onto Amazon, buy an edition or 2 old, so it'll be like 20 bucks or less, and you can read that. That is a very light, easy to read textbook that may set the stage for reading the appropriate chapters in the Professional MBA. I don't think you'll have any problem with the Professional MBA. It is not dense academic reading. It is a great book. But if you find yourself struggling, then go back and get a cheap, slightly out of date undergraduate level textbook, and you'll thrive. The next, I have a couple of readings. One is by Mihalko, who is one of the leaders in creativity. This is called The Lean Startup. It's a Harvard Business School summary. Boy, was this a find. I've read the book, The Lean Startup, and it's fantastic. And then I found this Harvard Business Review or Harvard Business Publishing summation that I bought, and now I'm providing it to you online. Also, in the last module, there's some downloads on legal forms and those sorts of things. They're going to guide you through that. So I have some great reading material for you. You see in there the appropriate assignments, when they're assigned, and those sorts of things. I also have made a series of videos. I try to keep the videos short, 8 minutes or less. And I can assure you the videos do not regurgitate what's in the readings. They are different material. I did not make all the videos. In some cases, I'm having you link to other people's videos. So there's the textbook or the readings, and there's the videos, and they don't cover the same information. Again, they're short, so I think you'll find them easy to watch, and you can easily schedule when you do that. And lastly are the deliverables, if you will, the quizzes and the projects. I'm going to talk about the quizzes in a subsequent video. As far as the projects, you can see that there's one major project per module, except in Module 4, there's actually 2 deliverables because the EA assignment is basically the final exam for the course. In D2L, there are in-depth explanations of all of these projects. You're going to find they're hands-on. The quizzes are only 35% of the grade. The remainder of the grade is in these projects. So hands-on, not regurgitating the textbook to me, but I'm going to warn you right up front, not something you can whip out in an hour or two. If you're getting down to the last night before it's due and you're starting to work on it, guess what? Probably not going to be a very good assignment for you, because I'll be able to see through the quality of what you presented to me that you had to rush through. So dive into those projects. I recommend that you read them now just so you get an understanding of what's going to be required, and that will help you as you go back and you do the materials. Now, I've set up the course so that I hope you will flow through them in modules 1 through 4, because that makes sense. But all the material is already there. Now, I'm going to be doing some tweaking to some of the later assignments that may not be 100% complete by the time the course goes live on that first Saturday, but it will be shortly thereafter if it's not perfect right up front. You could do this class in a week and a half and turn everything in. Actually, you can't, because you'll see for Module 2, part of what you have to do is comment on other people's videos. But honestly, Module 2 is due June the 22nd, so by June the 24th, you could have all the work done. I don't encourage you to work ahead, though. I encourage you to do the modules one by one as they're scheduled. You see the due dates there, zero sympathy for missing the due dates, zero. You have all this time to get it done, so just make sure that your work is done on time. So that's how we're going to tackle this course. I'm excited. I have one more introductory video to talk specifically about the quizzes.